Speaking of which, I'm not sure we could end your week better than what you're about to see. Her nickname is Sunshine because of her energy and her personality, and tonight, Sunshine got crowned.
Photojournalist Jamal Bransford was at Rochester High School when Emily Jacobs, a senior with Down syndrome, was named Homecoming Queen.
It's crazy. This is the biggest homecoming I've ever seen.
I'm entirely too excited for homecoming.
Emily's like a little ball of sunshine. She makes everyone happy. She makes everyone's day better.
Someone posted, let's nominate Emily for homecoming court, and immediately there was reaction from everyone.
I'm very excited about homecoming.
We've had a great senior year so far, and I'm sure it'll continue on. The teachers, faculty, the kids here have been fantastic.
It's a big deal no matter who you are. It's such an honor. It's very cool to be viewed by your class as someone to be put on homecoming court.
This is something that's not just part of this school. It's the fact that, society in general is accepting kids that maybe are a little bit different.
She's like the definition of being on homecoming court.
2013 homecoming king and queen are Emily Jacobs.
I am thrilled to be a homecoming queen.
Isn't that fantastic?
Love that. Love the look on her face.
I know. And yesterday was great when we did the story on her preparing for it, and she just talked about how beautiful it was all making her feel.
Yeah. I love how they describe her too. A little ball of sunshine.
I know, isn't that great?
So cute.
Yep.
Well, it's something that just isn't supposed to happen. A 5-month-old baby comes close to choking to death, swallowing his own pacifier. But thanks to the quick thinking of doctors, the child is now expected to make a full recovery. Our Chauncey Glover shows us how a very popular brand of pacifier almost claimed a life.
Now, thankfully, this story has a happy ending, but it has a very scary beginning. How a 5-month-old baby managed to swallow a pacifier like this one. Doctors still don't understand it. Meet little Cameron Herrick, also known as Super Baby.
He's amazing. He bounced back like nothing ever happened. And he will never remember, and I'll never forget.
And Adrian Herrick won't forget that horrifying phone call either.
I was just in shock. I didn't know how that could happen.
The 5-month-old had swallowed this pacifier while at daycare. The pacifier is called the Soothie, and it's what most hospitals give babies after birth.
He was holding the pacifier in his mouth and chewing on it. He's teething. And so she said that he either jumped up or rolled over.
Adrian tells me the daycare owner tried to get the pacifier out of the baby's mouth.
He took a deep breath and it sucked it further in. And then she wasn't able to reach it, to get it out. So she called 911.
Cameron was rushed here to Botsford Hospital.
We really weren't sure what to think. We thought that it was probably just a piece of the pacifier.
But the entire pacifier was down the baby's throat.
He was barely breathing on his own.
Doctors put a needle in the baby's neck and hooked it up to oxygen to breathe for him.
All these thoughts run through your head as you're thinking, is my kid gonna live?
And after hours of surgery, it was a miracle. Doctors got the pacifier out.
It actually, from my understanding, came out in pieces because it was lodged in there so tightly.
But it gave this little boy another chance to be back in his mother's arms.
I would give an organ to every staff member that helped in his survival if I could. If they needed it, I would give it to him in a heartbeat because they gave me life keeping him alive.
Now, little Cameron is back to his playful self. His mother says he's eating and he's back on his sleeping routine. Thankfully, this all turned out great. She says he will no longer go to that daycare where the incident happened. I'm Chauncey Glover, Local 4.
Yeah, my mom had it right. He'll never remember and she'll never forget. All right, Chauncey.
Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney is live. And what are the latest findings, Rod?
Well, Ruth, let me show you here. For every dollar that Wayne County spends paying, say, a sheriff's deputy, a snowplow driver, or even Bob Facano, it turns out that it also has to pay 93 cents more in what are called legacy costs, pensions and health care and the like. Now, I've talked to some municipal experts, municipal finance experts, who say to me that a good number for that would be 30 cents. Detroit is bankrupt, and it's somewhere between 60 and 70 cents. And so there is desperate concern tonight that this may mean an emergency manager for Wayne.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. She says she had just let her dogs outside when a man made his way in.
And everything about what he did and what he said is enough to rattle anyone to the core. Our Chauncey Glover joins us live, and Chauncey, you got a chance to talk with the woman.
I did, Devin, and with this one, you can't help but to think, how could anyone want to harm such a sweet woman? When I was at her home this evening, she took me by my hand and said, Chauncey, the only reason why I'm sharing my story is because I want to do anything that will help get this man off of our streets.
Sweetheart, it's all right, Daisy.
This 72-year-old woman lives a simple life here in Romulus. She's lived in this home for more than 20 years. Now it's just her and the two dogs, Dolly and Daisy. But Tuesday morning,
the gate was locked, but he crawled over the gate.
Trouble found its way in.
Left the door open about that far.
That's all it took for an intruder to make his way inside.
All of a sudden I looked and he was standing there, and I thought he had a knife.
The woman is handicapped and can't walk without her walker. She says the man helped her around the house.
And he said, don't look at me, and I cried. I begged, don't hurt me, don't hurt my dogs.
He began searching the home for money.
And he wanted to know about did I have any old money? Did I have any old coins?
Then he hit the jewelry box.
I said, please don't take my wedding band. And he said, why don't you have it on? I said, because I'm a widow.
He took the ring anyway. What happens next will drive you to tears.
And he told me to lay down. He said, don't move. Well, he asked me if I had condoms. And I said, I'm 72 years old. And then he raped me.
She laid there in tears. The terror finally stopped and the man left, but not before ripping all of the phones off the wall. The elderly woman managed to get a cell phone from her purse and called 911. Tired, afraid, and broken. That's how the woman told me she felt today. This man took a lot from her, but she vows he won't take her peace of mind.
I'm going to try my very best that he's not taking that away from me, because my house, my dogs, that's what makes up the part of my life that makes me happy, and I can't let him take that away from me. I've got to work through this.
Such a brave woman there. She told me she couldn't help but to thank her neighbors and also her friends who were being very helpful, many of them even volunteering to spend the night with her here in the coming days. Now to the police investigation. Investigators telling us they did take several pieces of evidence from the house, and they're trying to track this guy down. We're live tonight in Romulus. I'm Chauncey Glover, Local 4.
Just horrible, Chauncey.
Talk about a very close call.
Really, Ruth, it was extremely scary, but police are telling us that there is a way that you can help yourself out if you're ever in this spot. First off, try and downshift, and I'll have more on those tips later, but first, you've really got to see the video. The call came in as a reckless driver on the Van Dyke Expressway before noon today. What it really was a driver behind the wheel of an SUV with no brakes and no way to stop. Officer Derek Stansbury was the first one on the scene. It's him you hear yelling out his squad car window to the driver.
Try moving your shifter down. It won't do anything. How about your parking brake?
Nothing is working, and the 49-year-old driver screams through the window asking whether he should jump out of the car.
Oh, don't jump out.
The driver is in full-blown anxiety mode. Stansbury tries to talk him down.
Listen, just keep steering, paying attention, okay? And we'll get it taken care of.
The driver utterly panicking, telling the officer he doesn't want to die.
Listen, I'm not going to let that happen, okay? Just pay attention and keep your eyes on the road. I'm trying to organize something, okay?
Stansbury Salisbury has backup arriving imminently because it's clear the officer will have to get this car off the road. Watch as they execute the stop by having him ram the squad car. An officer runs up to the SUV and then takes the key out of the ignition. Stop complete, and everyone okay. And just in time, too. They were only 2 miles away from an intersection.
After exhausting everything, the only other option was to end this safely so that no one else got hurt.
Back here live, police give us several options on how to get yourself out of this mess. First one, try the downshift. If that's not going to work, take a look. Try and hit the parking brake. They say the parking brake is on a separate system than your regular brakes. And if all that is going to fail, it's time to pull the keys out of the ignition and coast to the side of the road. Ruth, back to you.
Sweet! The Yankees swept back to the Big Apple, and the Tigers are headed to the World Series.
Proud to be a Tigers fan right now. Proud for the city of Detroit.
Tonight, Comerica Park is jumping and jamming, shaking and spinning out of control.
Chauncey Glover, #1, go Tigers, baby.
Yeah, baby! We going all the way!
Yankees fans caught in the middle of the chaos.
You were very courageous to come here to Comerica Park wearing that Yankees jersey tonight.
Yes, I was, but listen, they've been nothing but cordial to us, and I congratulate the city of Detroit. I really do.
This is our year!
This is our year. From the mound to the bats, these boys are on fire. Now the fans are asking, who's next?
I want to see us go back against St. Louis. We lost against St. Louis first time, but we need some revenge.
No doubt about it, folks, this town has Tiger fever. And don't trust me, it's contagious.
A great game pitched by Sergio. Oh yeah!
The World Series!
The World Series, baby!
High schoolers count down to the prom, I think, from the moment they're freshmen in high school, right?
Absolutely. And a group of Detroit students had a prom they'll never forget in downtown Detroit. We're talking about the Jerry L. White Special Education Center hosted its 9th annual prom at the Rooster Tail along the Detroit River.
A lovely venue. And Local 4 photojournalist Jamal Bransford shows us the fun on the dance floor.
Tonight we're having our prom for our students. Students that we service have cognitive impairments, autistic impairments, and hearing impairments.
Having a good fun.
It's good to be together.
For our students, this is really a big thing because they have outweighed the odds.
It's jumping already.
You know, students with disabilities sometimes are often thought about differently, and here we make this possibility for them to be as normal as possible.
Everybody dancing, we getting high, we eating, we having fun.
You would believe I have some of the most talented students here in DPS.
It's my time to shine.
Okay, we're live outside of Buell Building right now. Mr. Ferguson, do you have any comment? You have no comment? What about your son? Do you have anything to say about the verdict? That's okay. Okay, what about Bobby Ferguson? He just spoke.
He has no
You know I feel
I
terrible.
understand, but I just wanted to find out if you had anything to say. I mean, obviously you've got a guilty verdict, and we've been waiting for you to say something to the people. I mean, they obviously have been supporting you for many years, and now they want to know exactly what you have to say.
I'll say it.
Don't you think that you owe that to them? I mean, you said this is your city.
When I get ready to say it, I'll say it.
Well, I understand, but this is the time, sir. This is the time. This is decision day.
No, it isn't.
What, it isn't? Why not? What about your son taking millions of dollars from our city? What about Bobby Ferguson?
He didn't take a dime.
He didn't take a dime? He was found guilty, sir.
Kwame didn't take a dime.
Then who took the money? Yeah, you were found guilty, sir. Any comment?
Please back up. Back your arm up.
I am backing up, ma'am. And you are watching Bobby Ferguson drive away right now from the Buell Building, as you saw, trying to get some kind of comment. As you noticed, he used to make comments coming out of court. Was obviously not wanting to make a comment. And then when I asked him about the money, he said Kwame didn't take a dime. So obviously there is no recognition of this verdict. They don't agree with it. It'll be interesting to see what happens in court in just a little bit, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Bernard Kilpatrick still steadfast.